Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome to Let's Play the full campaign preview of Frostpunk. So those who don't know, Frostpunk is a strategy survival game set in a kind of post-apocalyptic steampunk Victorian age, where everything has got very cold. Ice and snow form most of the continents, and you just need to try and not die by freezing to death, and also have all the people in your society not depose you, because they also froze to death. I mean, if they froze to death, I guess they can't depose you. That does tend to help. It's made by the same people who made This War of Mine, which I kind of liked. You know, there's enough videos on my channel of it that, yeah, kind of my jam. And they kind of specialize in this whole very depressing, bleak outlook. So, we're going to dive in. Bear in mind, this is a preview, so there are a few cutscenes missing. And I believe there's only one scenario, which is the main story scenario at the moment. There will be more, and there will be actually like a start cutscene that isn't in the game right now, but this is because it's a preview build. But we can play the entire game. So, preserve civilization. From the chaos of its own downfall, we've fled to the end of the world. We'll have to adapt to survive. Who will we become in the process? Part of the game is set around these kind of decisions you have, like, do we send the children to school, or do we make them work in the mine? And you can guess which line of that I tend to follow. So, we're going to just dive in. No customized scenario. We're just going to go straight back in and do the default. People who fall ill try to go to a medical facility as soon as they have free time. If you have one for them. The main feature of this game is you've developed your society around this big steam turbine tower that just generates heat. You need to fill it with coal, but it does generate heat for your people. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. Wait, so you fled from London, across the sea to reach the frozen north, so you went above Scotland? So we're in, like, Iceland? On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. So they went north, and it was cold. Well, that's going to make it colder. I don't understand their logic. This is maybe why they're frozen. So, this is the crater that we are going to live in. It's going to shield us a little bit from the blizzard. And this is the generator. Fight the cold. We need the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we will freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. So, this is our generator. There are many like it, but this one is ours. As you can see, we need to turn it on. And we also need to have coal for it. And then there are several different levels which you can unlock through research. Currently, we've only got one level unlocked, but we're going to need coal to run that. And so up the top, you can see, I like this UI. It really is kind of this Victorian steampunky-esque. The colours are like, you know, a bit of yellow, mostly blue aesthetic. I mean, I really like the aesthetic of their games when they do this sort of thing. Like, This War of Mine, the aesthetic was great. This game as well. I just nails the aesthetic. Anyway, so we currently have 80 people who are all homeless. We should do something about that. And we need coal. So if we have a look around, we will find coal pile, coal pile, coal pile. We have coal. So we're going to start people on the coal. We're going to have 15 workers on the coal over here. We'll probably send 15 workers to this, which is wooden crates. They'll break them apart and we'll get, as you might guess, wood. We'll also send some people to this wooden crate stuff, and we'll also send our engineers. Now, engineers are basically your skilled workers. You've got workers and you've got your skilled workers who are like engineers, etc. We're going to send 10 of those, and we've got 5 left. So I guess we'll send them to steel. Excellent. Right. And with that, I'm going to unpause the game. So right now it's minus 20 degrees C. Now, bear in mind, you might be like, oh, no, we're out if it's minus 20. Yeah, but you've got houses with modern insulation. Bear in mind, you're not living in minus 20 all the time. We're not exactly that well off. We don't have the same insulation in even clothes that you do, nor do we have central heating. The heat entirely will be coming from this. We'll start building our houses around it, and this will be radiating heat outwards. Ooh. Work is needed. There is so much to do and not enough to handle it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put our children to work. Okay, so that's a pretty early on decision. We can choose to put our children to work, or we can put them into shelters. Now, part of the reason that you might choose to put them to shelters is, yeah, sure, you don't get the labor that the children provide, but you get hope. And if we go back, you'll notice that down the bottom here we have hope and discontent. If your hope reaches 0, people are like, oh, there's no hope, and they depose you. And if discontent gets too high, then I don't know. I've always had hope go down. I've never had discontent hit full. But similarly, you also lose the game. I just lost the game. So, if we go Book of Laws, there's also a few other options. Adaptation is the only main tree we have at the moment. You'll get more trees later. So we've got stuff like we now have Fighting Arena, which people can go and fight and burn off some steam. Kind of works. Burn off some steam. Steam generator. Coal. We've got stuff down here about radical treatment or sustain life, which is an option to do with, okay, they're really gravely ill. Are we going to do radical treatment with 30% chance of leaving them as amputees who can't work? Or are we going to sustain the life and just have the gravely ill people be a burden on the society because they will be eating food and not working, but also, you know, we won't be permanently crippling them, which would be the side effect of the amputee thing. Then you've got stuff like your cemetery, or do you want just corpse disposal? It is as grim as it looks. You literally just put them in snow, out at the edge, and let them freeze. One of the good things is bodies are preserved for potential future use. So that's the thing. Yummy. I think we might go Fighting Arena early on. There's a lot of like hard decisions early on, right? Like if you go child labor early on, you can, at the very beginning, bam, get children working, get extra stuff in. But that is a big decision to start with. Could also go soup. We can cook soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount of raw food. Hope will fall slightly, discontent will rise slightly, eating soup will cause discomfort. But a new recipe, soup. Alternatively, you can fill it full of sawdust. Ugh. Some people all eating the sawdust meals will fall ill. Ugh. Yummy. I don't think I want to do either of those, to be quite honest with you. So we're going to start off, and I think what we'll do... Children in safe jobs? Medic apprentice, engineer apprentice. Ooh. You know what? Let's do child shelters. Let's risk it. We'll risk being good. Now, that will require us to actually build a child shelter. And it'll increase hope if we do so. Because it's kind of our promise. Like, we will have children working in shelters. Right now, well, not working in shelters, but just, you know, being in shelters. Right now, they don't do anything. They just stay at home. So, as you can see, as the day goes along, working time keeps going. There is a non-working period of time. Oh, construction. Hello, you can build things. Right, yeah, we actually do want to build things, because right now, people are going to die. Because it's going to hit nighttime, and no one has anywhere to live. We have 80 people with nowhere to live right now. So, we could use a tent. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8. Each of those is 10, so that should house 80 people. So hopefully we'll have everyone in. And we'll also, now we've got coal, turn on the generator. Food! We also need food. Yep, I'm aware. So right now we have 100 raw food. People can't eat raw food. It needs to be cooked. So what we need is a cookhouse. There's a lot of things to do. So a cookhouse will turn raw food into food. At a rate of, I believe, 1 raw food equals 2 food. The default is, like, you can have more recipes as we've already seen. So we're going to put that down here. However, we don't actually generate raw food with this. We need, like, something like a hothouse or a hunter's camp. Hunter's camp is the one you start with, so we'll probably build that in a minute. Or we can just build it right now. Hunter's hut, hunter's hut. Let's do it. Now, you notice that everything's arrayed in a concentric circle around this thing. That's because the heat radiates outwards. I'll put all the people places where they live in the center because they're going to be spending a good deal of their time sleeping there, and if they are cold, they will get ill and possibly die. These also kind of important. The issue is if someone's too cold and they're meant to be working there, they will actually stop working there if it's colder than chilly. Let me bring up the thermometer right now, and you can see that this is comfortable. Nobody gets ill. This, however, is livable. Very low risk of getting ill. Then it's chilly, which is, there's a low risk. Then it's cold, where people refuse to work in a building. And then very cold and freezing, and the chances of getting ill go up dramatically. Eek. We've been good. Normally I put children to work immediately. I'm like, you know what? You should learn. You learn by doing work. And I think we'll also put down a child shelter. And I wanted to put it on the inside ring because the children kind of not freeze to death, because that would be a problem. Instead, I will put one there. I'm leaving a gap because we're going to have to put down a street. There we go. So you can actually get access to that. You know what? Maybe we'll just put it on the inside. It makes it look less pretty, but it's probably worthwhile doing. Right, there we go. Place for people to live. Hunter's Hut. I will want to send people to the Hunter's Hut, so I'm going to just send maximum 15 people there right now. And I believe their shift is a night shift. People from our colony, people from our convoy, sorry. With basic resources secured now, we can try and rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop design plans for more advanced buildings. Okay, so at some point, we lost people in our convoy to get here. This is one of the major mechanics. You can send out scout parties to go and look for resources, because eventually we're going to run out of stuff here. Now, like, obviously, you're going to run out of wooden crates, but you can also then start sawmilling, stuff like the frozen trees. Or you can start digging coal, or I believe we've got an iron deposit over here as well. But you can also get a lot of accessible stuff that people have just left in the apocalypse outside. So I want to do that at this stage. I don't think we've got the resources for it quite now, though. Children cared for. The child shelter is ready and the children are safe inside. People can work without worrying that something will happen to their kids. And hope rises. Do we need people to work here? No. Cool. And now, everyone has houses. Illness and healthcare. Yeah. We don't actually have anyone... Okay, we have someone ill. That's happened. We also need people to work here. I'm going to take 5 people from there, and you know what? You don't need 5 people in the cookhouse. You only need a couple. You need very few people working in the cookhouse, but they will need to turn that raw food into actual food rations. However, how much does a workshop cost? 5 steel, we've got 18, and 15 wood, so we need more wood. So that's coal. That's wood. That's steel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. These are the hunters. The hunters are headed out right now because they hunt at night. That's steel. That's steam cores. You can't make steam cores. They're like pieces of advanced technology. Those are found via just scavenging. You start with one, but you're going to get the rest by scavenging. This is a raw food that gets turned into actual food rations, and then there are a couple more things you can unlock. So, we need to deal with this gravely ill person. We can't really deal with them because we need wood to make a medical tent. Again, medical tents are manned by engineers, because engineers are the highly trained people, so they crew them. Now, if we leave these ill people too long, they will become gravely sick. As you can see in brackets, 0 gravely. Gravely means, yeah, they might die. Critical shortage. Number 6 is rising. We don't have enough materials to build a medical post. Perhaps a short burst of effort should... Okay, so they're suggesting we can sign the emergency shift law. So the emergency shift law is effectively... Discontent will rise slightly. Using the emergency shift will raise discontent. But the emergency shift means that for like 24 hours, people will work non-stop, so they don't stop working at night. Or during the day if it's like, you know, a hunter's lodge or whatever. It's a pretty good law for desperate situations. But we don't need it right now, so I'm going to just do the fighting arena instead. You're going to do like one law every so often.
New law in the city.
Yay.
So look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah. Actually, just checking around. Do we have like a way to remove the UI? No. Oh, because it's so cool. Okay, I was just wanting like some really cool pictures, but fine. Day-night cycle. Yeah. People are not working right now. It's free time. I'm itching for a good fight. Sure, sure, sure. Let's speed up time a little bit. Free time and 8 work time. Right. Get back to work. Now construct. Health. Medical post, we need more wood. There we go. And we're going to put this on the inner ring. Oh, what's this? No, thanks. We just wanted to thank you. Back in London, it was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. In this new world you're creating, we can see things will be different. Hope we'll rise slightly. Yay! We should have sent them to work. They'd have learned a thing or two. Where have I got the engineers working right now? Here. So we're going to take... We'll take all the engineers actually away. And then you're waiting for workers. Can engineers build? I guess we'll see. There we go. Wood crates depleted. Oh. Well, get to work on that then. And we're going to construct a workshop. Now this is going to be our tech building. It's going to be quite important for us. I'll put it here for now. Not adjacent to a street. We will solve that by building a street. And now, put engineers in the medical post. And there we go. Instantly, our ill people disappeared because they got treatment. And now we have the workshop. Put engineers in it. And we can add a research. Beacon. I'm really thinking the beacon's a good idea. Like, getting that running early on is going to really help us out. There are a few other things that are really good, but... Beacon. Now, that did take us resources to start researching it, which, you know, it's annoying. But hey, 3 people being treated. There we go. Nice. You will see, however, look, coming up here, this is our timeline. We're on day 3. Over here, temperature will drop significantly, 2 levels. That means intervals of 10 Celsius, so that's going to drop to minus 40. It's pretty cold. Oh, it's going to rise another 10 afterwards, so it'll go down to minus 30. Yeah, we're going to need to be ready. And tents don't provide much insulation. So hopefully we'll have researched like bunkhouses or something by then, which is like the next tier of living. Because that's going to be tough. We're doing fine, all things considered. I'll just wait for it.
Work time.
Alright, work time. Get it all going. Research on the beacon's going well. Oh, hello. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group. But she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we send out. She urges you to help. Okay. Well, we'll do what we can. But, you know, they might be dead. Just saying. You probably don't need that many people in the cookhouse. Probably need 1. Okay. Almost there. There we go. We got the beacon. So, new research. And I'm thinking the new research has to be something heating based because we're about to die. But not die, I mean we're about to have that cold snap. So a steam hub. A steam hub is effectively a mini generator. When powered by the generator, these contraptions create additional smaller heat zones around them. Each active steam hub consumes 3 coal per hour. So it's going to consume a lot of coal. But it's also going to be pretty damn helpful. So we're going to research that. And then... Beacon. This is expensive. 20 wood, 35 steel, but it allows us to send out our scouts. And yes, I most definitely want a beacon. Does it need to be on the inside? People don't work at the beacon, so actually it could just be on the outside. Yeah, put it there for now. Done. Beacon built. We're no longer lost and blind. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens that surround us, the Frostland. So the idea being that, you know, people can find us, because right now we're kind of set down low. Really hard to see our people, and the smoke doesn't really help because there's a blizzard going on. Whereas this, it's like the light will shine out and we can find our way home. Otherwise we'd be sending out people and they'd get lost. I don't understand how our hunters manage to do it. Maybe they just stay closer. So, this is the Frostlands. We have two things nearby. Firstly, a gloomy cave and a lost expedition. Numerous tents. We can see people moving about. They must be the lost members of our expedition. And yeah, sure, more people would help right now. We'd also need to find a place to put them and resources for them, like food. But sure, we could do that. So, we need to make ourselves an expedition which needs 40 wood and needs 5 people. We don't have either. We'll have the wood soon, hopefully. Oh, it's free time. Ugh, won't be until tomorrow then. Ready to search. People cheer as the giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done to make it happen. Volunteers have lined up, eager to go looking for our lost people in the Frostland. The woman who came forward earlier is among them. We need to win. That won't be till tomorrow, though, and that's going to be pretty damn cold. Because that's going to happen. Uh-oh. Oh, and the coal pile depleted. Right. That's the thing. Okay. Hunter's going out. Doing okay for food right now. 2 people still being treated. 1 person being treated. We've got to build a fighting arena in the next 1 day. How close are we to doing the steam? Oh. Here we go. Temperature's dropping. Okay, let's do our temperature inspection. Suddenly chilly. That's cold, which means that the cookhouse, I think no one's going to work there? Now, we do have a solution to this, and it's not a great solution. It only works temporarily, but you can turn the generator to overdrive. All heat zones rise by 1 level, but the generator will stress. So we're going to do it. We've got to survive a few days until the heat rises a little bit. Eek. Let's kick in the overdrive function.
The work shift starts.
Okay. Wood crates depleted. Is there more? There's got to be more wood crates around here. Coal. There we go. More wood crates. We're good. Could also make a gathering post. Because then people will actually like go and gather outside of this. Without the massive risk. Which is, you know, doing it without a building. Which makes you very cold. So I think what we'll do is we will actually set this up. We can demolish it later. And I know that was the wood that we were earmarking for another thing. We got to build a fighting arena as well. Otherwise people are going to be mad that we cheated on them with like promises. Steam hub research. Excellent. You know what? I'm going to take everyone away here. I'm actually going to take people away from here. We need to get this, this wood done ASAP. Mild frostbite. Ah! 5 people are gravely ill. Yeah, so people got frostbite because they were working outside. Eek. Frostbite. One of our people has become grave. 5 of them have. So we must do something. We can do radical treatment or we can do sustain life. Now, sustain life is where people effectively are kept alive but untreated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly. Discomfort will rise slightly. Gravely will not be treated and remain a burden. Gravely will take up beds in medical posts. It's not great. Or we can go radical treatment. They'll be treated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly, but there's a 30% chance of the gravely ill being left as amputees. We're going to do it. We're going to do radical treatment.
Hear me, hear me. New law in the city.
So put none there and then move them inside here for now. Right. We also want to build... How much does a fighting arena cost? Oh, I don't have enough steel. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. There's 3 absences there because sick. Come on, there we go, we got the steel. Right. Fighting arena. Now, this is an area effect, and anyone in this area effect will be a lot happier because they get to see people, you know, beating each other to death. Which obviously is fun. How would it not be fun? And we're going to put this... It's going to be messy either way. Got to cover as many as possible. Can I align it anywhere? Oh, is it aligned? No, it's almost aligned. It gets aligned here, I think. Yeah, that's an alignment. I'll take it. And then that will need a street to get to. Now, how much to make that? Excellent. Let's do it. So we've made ourselves a unit of scouts, which is 5 of our people and 40 wood. And we're going to send them over to the Lost Expedition. It'll take 11 hours to get there. Sweet. Now when they get there, they're going to find people and they're going to bring them back, presumably. So that's... they're going to need to put them somewhere. Okay, where are my engineers right now? Gonna remove the engineers from there. I'll add new research. I think we need to do the bunkhouse, but I don't think we have the ability to do that yet. So bunkhouse, right. To do the bunkhouse, we need to unlock drawing boards at level 1. That's going to take wood. Which is a shame. Because that thing takes like 50 wood. It's not terrible. I'm going to say 80 originally, and I said 40. I don't know why. Words. We could also do stuff like, say, getting a sawmill, so we don't need to worry about boxes. I think it's probably a good idea. But we need more wood to research that. Great. Fighting arena. Hope rises. Excellent. And then... sawmill. Because that's kind of necessary for a lot of other things in the game. What over here? Inoperative because of heat. Right, so the heat is so low, the cookhouse is not operating. We can build a steam hub. It will cost us 20 steel, which we don't have. That's great. Oh, wait. Are people mining coal? Did they stop? I was just wondering why I suddenly got a lot of extra people lying around. I think it's because they stopped mining coal. Yeah, they finished that area up there. I like how, look, they finished this area, so there's still bits of, like, snow lying around, and then the snow builds up, and this is what happens after a while. It's really cool. Oh my god. Right. I'm just going to nerd out a lot about this game. Don't worry. Gonna specialize in getting this coal because we really need the coal. Like, we really desperately need the coal. You're being worked by this gathering post, so I don't need to worry about those. Okay. Now, bear in mind this meter here is the Overdrive, which when it gets full, we're going to have to cancel. It's the only thing keeping us doing anything right now. And if we don't cancel it, yeah, the thing will explode. Like, that's what happens. The rest of our people made camp here. Too exhausted to go on. We should escort them to the city. We're into the camp. Appearing out of the driving snow, a choir of excited voices welcome us. Thank God you found us. We've been wandering for days until we couldn't go on any longer. Soon we begin to starve. Children out surround us, packed and ready to go. Right, so we have discovered 2 other sites as well. We can escort them off. We get 4 children, 9 engineers, and 22 workers, or we send them to the city. They'll set out towards the city on their own. It may take them longer, and some of them may die. I'm gonna say yes, because if they come back right now, they'll come back in the middle of the blizzard where we don't have anywhere to house them. So I'm gonna send them by themselves. Enjoy. Shelter. Or observatory. I'm gonna go for the shelter. A bulky cylindrical construction stands on a small hill. The Union Jack flies over it, but there's no sign of movement. Okay. So we'll do that one then. Meanwhile, 14 hours until the Lost Expedition reaches us. Sweet. Right, generators, stress level critical. Gonna have to turn it off. Okay, overdrive is cancelled. It's gonna get cold.
The work shift starts.
And we've depleted steel wreckage. Right, 2 more steel. There we go. We build that steam hub. It will mean that we're using a lot more in the way of coal, though. And because it's got an area like this, if I put it there, it's going to be doubling up on this generator. I kind of want it to spread out a little bit further. So we'll put a street in there. I'll put the steam hub out here. There we go. Now that we'll use a lot of extra fuel. What's this? First amputation. To save this patient's life, we had to perform an amputation. As a result, this person won't be able to work. Oh dear. So, now they can't work. We can do the care house. The gravely ill amputees will be cared for at a low cost in special homes. We can build a care home. Hope will rise slightly. Residents of the care home eat half as much, but we have to build it. And it takes up space and we have to then heat it, etc. For now, I won't bother, but when we get enough amputees, that's worthwhile because it will cut the amount of food that we have to spend on them. Because they're not doing anything. Amputees effectively don't do anything for you. And then we've got sawmill. What else can we research? I kind of want to get bunkhouses. Heaters. Allows use of heaters in workplaces during work hours. Consumes a coal, raise the temperature level by 1. Yeah, I think we need that. Because right now, things like this are freezing cold. Not actually that cold, it's just cold. I thought it was worse than that. But still. A low chance is still a, you know, a definite possibility that people will end up getting really, really badly injured. No one's gravely at the moment, it's just people are sick. And this is actually full. We need another medical post. And this is going to have issues with heat. Luckily, though, we're going to be building this. So if I put that there, I probably will be getting heat. Ooh! Shelter. Might be steam core, might be wood, might be food. I like this. The shelter is well supplied and built to withstand even the worst weather. An advanced steam heating system protects it from the cold. The shelter is comfortable and well equipped with emergency supplies. There's a notice posted by the heavy round door. To all scientists, if you use any supplies, remember to notify the quartermaster upon your return to the city. This means there's another city out there. A signpost by the trail indicates, points in 2 directions. London, 1,934 miles, or home, 27 miles. That means that 27 miles away, there's another city. And we just get a steel bridge. And we get a steam core, 208 wood, and 100 food. You know what? I might get you to come back. I remarkably Ooh. See, here's the choice, right? They have the resources, we don't. They have them on them. We could get them to come home and bring the resources back, and it would take them 11 hours, or we could send them to, like, Steel Bridge, 13 hours, and then come back. I think we press on Steel Bridge. A remarkably snow-free Steel Bridge. Deliver us to the far-off land. People from our convoy reunions. It's heartwarming to see families reunited after so many hardships, but shouldn't there be another settlement? Shouldn't there be other settlements nearby? The first expeditions left London long ago. They should be well established by now. They'll sure help us find our footing. We'll look for the others. Okay, so we now have 33 people who are homeless, and still a load of people who are sick, and a frightened patient who is afraid of getting his leg amputated. One of our people is facing death, but he's still refusing amputation. He keeps screaming that he doesn't want anyone to touch his leg, and he won't change his mind, even though gangrene will kill him in a matter of hours. So we can let him be, he will probably die, or he'll be left as an amputee. I don't have anywhere to put the corpse, so I'm going to cut his leg. We do need to deal with corpses relatively soon. That is a thing that we should probably manage. Also, it is 7 PM, and we have nowhere to house the people who arrived, because we also have no wood. This is not good. Oh dear. Mistakes were made. Okay. I think this is a good point to end episode 1, so if you've liked, please remember to like, not subscribe, please consider subscribing, and then doing the thing where you hit the bell notification, then hit yes, I actually want to see videos, otherwise subscribing is pointless. Feel free to check out the Patreon, which should help support the channel, despite YouTube being sometimes, and yeah, do especially let me know down below if you want to see more Frostpunk, this being, the game being out on the 24th of April, 2008. 2018, sorry, not 2008, we've gone back in time. 2018, in case you're watching this in a future year. Or the past, I guess. Yeah, do let me know down below if you want to see more, because it helps me know if you want me to make more videos. So, let me know down below, do the whole like thing, etc. But until next time, when hopefully we won't freeze to death. There's 33 people who don't have a house and it's minus 40 degrees. People are going to freeze to death. Stay shiny!